Hello, welcome to the Steam Release Podcast. I'm your host. I know I went really heavy on the radio voice right there. I'm the host of the Steam Release Podcast, and joining me today, as always, is Roadie Pie.
Hello.
Looking a little bit paler. Are you okay? Are you feeling well?
I'm just lining up for the apocalypse. It's fine.
Just prepared for the apocalypse. Yeah, we'll all be running around in like powdered faces. It'll happen one of these days.
It's like the essentials, priorities.
Mm-hmm. And he's back after a long Easter break. He's back. Mm-hmm. Topgunbunny, welcome.
Hello.
Oh well, wow! It's been a spell. It's only been 2 weeks, but it felt a whole lot longer than that. But we've got 2 weeks of games to talk about, of course. But before we get to that, we just have to ask, what have you played this last week? So, Rhodey, you ready for first?
Yes, roll the graphic. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right. What played? Baba. There we go.
So, the first game I played was Killy's Treasure, and this is it's kind of like the first game from the people who made Timpu's Treasure, or at least the one they made before Timpu's Treasure. So Killy, Killi''s, Killy's Treasure.
All right, there we go. Killy's Treasure.
And it's super sweet. My partner was kept leaning over to see what I was doing, and I told him what it was about, and he was like, "Oh my god, that's so sweet!" So basically, Roscoe has gone to the farm. He's your dog, so you have to send him to the farm, and your mum is trying to cheer you up. By doing a little treasure hunt around the house, and all these things are memories of Roscoe. Oh. So it's just it's sad because you find out you found the dog, you brought it home, he's very scared, and Roscoe's like your best friend, but then eventually he got ill, and of course he didn't get better, but you were going through all these beautiful memories and everything, and my partner was just like, "Oh my god, that's so sad."
Seems like a perfect way to ruin an evening. Yeah.
He thought it was very sweet, and it was cute. It was super cute, and it was super happy ending as well. So yeah, I would totally recommend it. The problem with the mechanics, though. Unlike Timpu's Treasure, where you can interact with something which goes into that little bar, and you interact with something else, it didn't matter which order you were selecting those items. This one, you have to put it in the exact order for it to say, yeah, you've completed this puzzle, basically. So if one of the items are wrong, you then have to go back to the first item that you were going to interact with to put it at the top, and then go to find the correct item or something. So it's like there's not an eloquent sort of trial and error. Sometimes you're going through several different things, and so that becomes frustrating. That happened a couple of times. Maybe 3 times or something, but yeah, that was just super annoying. But yeah, other than that, really cute. It was about 2 hours-ish long, but yeah, enjoyed it. Nice little game. And then I was in the mood for something kind of either a perpetual game, like a city builder, or a long RPG that I wasn't gonna play streaming. So I looked through my library and I put on Heartbeat. It's all one word, and it's very, very beautiful pixel art. It is done in RPG Maker, which is surprising because usually I don't like games that are done in RPG Maker because they kind of look all the same. But this one is done really well. The art style is done really well. The music is amazing. And the story is really great as well. And I love the mechanics. So you start off with, you're a conjurer, and that means that you have an affinity with the kind of the animals that can talk in the realm, and you already have a partner, one of these creatures that you've shared their heart with. They've shared their heart with you, so they are your partner for life. And in terms of like fighting things, you're a battle conjurer. Not everyone who is a conjurer is a fighting one. In fact, most of them aren't. And there's trouble happening, and you'll see this unfold, and you go to all these different towns. You also get temporary friends who join you throughout your adventure, but basically you're trying to figure out what's going wrong, and you go on an adventure together, and it's just really nice. It's really nice, and there are some interesting dynamics going on. I did find out later, because when I was looking at the store page, there was like a little asterisk by the on how positive this game was, and then I looked it up, and it was like there was some controversy about it. So I can recommend the game, but if you don't want to like give any money to the devs, it's like I would not think badly of you if you just pirated it, basically. Unfortunately, you know, that's how it is. I had it in my library for ages. I think if I'd known like before, I don't think I would have like purchased it.
Yeah. Well, I think it also, like, the whole controversy came out after, like, well after you had purchased it. Because until very recently, it was one of the top reviewed games on Steam. And the controversy, basically opinions are expressed in a very unkind way. And it just kind of snowballed from there. So if you want to look into it, I do recommend you do. And just inform your purchasing decisions on that, if that's at all important to you. But yeah. So next up, do you have any other games?
No, that was it. That was my. I've been playing the crap out of Heartbeat. So yeah.
Alrighty. So Adambomb, what are your games that you've played recently?
A couple of weeks ago, I think last time I was on here, we talked about a game called Kari. It was about like Norse mythology, and this young girl gets stuck in Vanaheim. So I'll pull it up here. Yeah, so I played through this just one evening. It took me like 4 or 5 hours, maybe. It was a lot of fun for a free game.
That's pretty hefty.
Definitely recommend it. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. My only complaint at the end was I was trying to get all the achievements while I was playing, and there's an achievement for dying, and there's an achievement for never dying.
So you have to play it twice.
I didn't really look at it until the end. I was like, well, not that I would have been able to beat the game without dying on my first playthrough, at least. But I didn't look at up until the very end, and I was like, ow, damn it. I wasn't even trying. Like, I died because I wanted to. Sometimes because it was faster to get back. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Beyond that, somebody just gifted me Outriders, which seems to be a really popular game that people have just started poking around with. I haven't turned it on yet, but that's my plan for the evening, is to dig into that.
I heard like some people have had problems connecting to the server.
I don't like that. Feels like every new game these days. I wasn't going to go and spend money on this, but somebody that I play with like really enjoys it, so he was like, "Oh, I'll buy it for you." I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to complain about free game, thank you." But yeah, I'll give that a go, and I'll see. I don't really have a lot of patience for connectivity issues. If if it's bad, I'll probably stow it away for a couple weeks or a month or so, and then come back to it.
It's kind of bizarre that it's happening with, like, I mean, this is developed by People Can Fly, but it is published by Square Enix, and like Square Enix has plenty of games with perfectly functional online.
Yeah.
So
I haven't looked too far into it yet. I'm really not. It's funny to say this on like a Steam release podcast, but like usually when things are brand new, I don't try them unless they're very cheap.
Same here.
Games that are really expensive like that, yeah, I've got tons of games. I don't need to kind of jump into that right away. But I don't know. I'll try it.
I think that's like perfect philosophy for the Steam release podcast.
Yeah.
we all say, oh yeah, you know, my library and
yeah.
I'll
I have
put it in my wish list. So.
Yeah, looking at all these brand new games that I'm not going to buy today.
Yeah, folks talk about how expensive it is to like game on PC, but at the same time, like we don't pay $30 to $60 for every game we play. So it's like, you know, we just get games if they want them. Speaking of which, I haven't checked the Humble Monthly yet, so I bet there's goodies on there. I gotta check that for this month.
And this is the last game that I played. I just had some friends over, and Monster Prom actually was the party game that was the choice for that evening. I don't know if I've ever talked about Monster Prom before. I had played it at one point. It was interesting.
It is.
I was the only one who got the date at the end. Actually.
Oh, nice! I see. Because this is one that I've wanted, but yeah, it's like a visual novel party game, and it's like, oh, okay, how does it work? Well, you know, I've heard very good things about it, but you know, did you find that it did work well?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure. It's got multiple endings, but it's very much a party game. Like you start off, I think you can choose how many weeks out from the prom that you are, and then you just have to spend. There's like a morning, a afternoon, an evening, and then at the end of the week, you also get one person at random gets to have an event. But like when you're playing with other people, if you like, say you're really interested in like the werewolf guy, but the werewolf guy is sitting with other people at lunchtime, and you really like the werewolf guy, but the buddy on the couch next to you really wants to be with like the vampire guy who's also sitting at the same table, you kind of have to like beat each other out to be the one who actually gets the spot to sit there. So the reason I got my date was because nobody, the girl that I was after, the ghost one, she was never found in the same places as the other interests on the couch. So it was like nobody contested me throughout the whole game to actually sit with her or interact with her. It's actually pretty funny.
Pro tip.
Yeah. It's like go after whoever
no one else is interested in.
Yeah, no one else is interested, but sitting by themselves.
This game, I have played this game, and I have to say it is so much better playing in a group of friends than
playing this alone wouldn't.
Yeah,
be so
solo's kind of weird. You want to get a group of friends together because it's not a bad visual novel, but it is meant to be played multiplayer. The interactions are so much more interesting in that case. But yeah, man, this game's great. Also, it is very much an adult game, so it's for it's not like super it's not adults only, but it is an M-rated game.
Yeah, it's a dating game.
Yeah, it's M-rated game. Yeah. There's a lot of like stuff in there. Although the ghost lady is really funny because she's exactly like my cousin's his wife. And it's just like, oh, this is really strange. I'm basically hitting on my wife in this game. This is weird.
Yeah, it's also very appropriate to mention that when monsters go to high school, they're above 18 years old. Oh,
yes, that's very important to mention, apparently.
It's mentioned.
Yeah, apparently. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's mentioned. Yeah.
That's so funny. All right. Anything else?
No, that's it for me. Right. Actually, I tried, not on Steam, but I tried The Last Guardian last night. It's like a PS4 game about a little, like a young boy kind of like befriending some sort of like giant half bird, half mammal creature. And it was kind of fun, but the controls were very, very frustrating.
Yeah.
Very, very weird. It's like you're trying to climb something and you're just like ragdolling off of them with one hand, and then falling over things when you're trying to run. It's like you can either sneak or sprint, and there's no in between. Either you're running as full tilt, or you're just like sneaking very, very slowly.
Yeah, and with that game, it's like they actually kind of intended like your interaction with the creature to be frustrating because like sometimes it'll obey, sometimes it won't, and you have to gradually train it to behave.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you need it to follow you, and you're like calling out to him, and he's not following you, and you're like, okay, maybe I should crawl up on top of it. And then you crawl up on top of it, and he takes you to the next area. And I'm just like, I'm so confused. Should I be on the creature or not on the creature? I don't understand. Like, sometimes it's too dumb to go through the hole that's obviously where we need to go, and other times it's like, I can't figure out where I'm going, and I crawl up on the creature, and it's like, oh, I know where we're going, and then it takes me there. So it was fun. It was very interesting, and it does give you some prompts sometimes when you don't know what you're doing. It's your character in the future telling the story, and he's like, I remember it being very frustrated at this point, and you're like, oh, okay, it's frustrating, and then you can work with that information. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try more of it later on.
At long last, finished Shadowbringers.
Nice.
It is it is the first time I have played a Final well, I guess in Final Fantasy XIV specifically, where like I really felt for the villain. Like, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it does that. Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but just you end up understanding the villain at such an intimate level in this game, and you sort of understand like where they're coming from, and the sort of ends justify the means sort of approach that they're going for, and the agony that they have experienced for so long, the agony and the sorrow they've been feeling. Oh, that last moment just hit me right in the chest, but it's so beautifully done, and I'm really excited where it goes from here. So me and my brother have been playing this like at every possible moment this last week, because of course we get to like what we thought was the last boss, and it's like no. You've got 20 quests until you get to the end.
yeah it's really good, and so the next expansion is going to like finish off that complete storyline then. So and then they'll move on to something else. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
And it's really weird because I knew people who finished the story and were just emotionally destroyed, and that didn't really happen to me. But the more I think about that ending, the more emotionally affected I become. So.
I think that's why I've not gone back into it and like played through like the patches of the story, because it was just like, the story was great, and I feel like I'm done now.
It did feel like an ending.
Yeah, it does feel like a proper ending, and but I will go back into it before the expansion comes out. So yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't played any indie games this week, but now that I've got Shadowbringers out of the way, I'm gonna have time to do some indie games. Oh, my heart. Ooh, hot poppy Sunday. Yeah, there's a bunch of poppies blooming outside, actually, down here in Texas. It's so pretty. All these pink poppies in the fields. Alrighty. So, we're just up to the release list, which is right... There we go. There's a tab. Okay, I just can't read. Releases. So here are our hidden gems, and of course we dug through the release list so that you don't have to, and found a whole bunch of awesome games that we're going to talk about this week. So without further ado, we're going to start with Dininho Adventures.
Help out Dininho in what might be the most heroic adventure of your life. Explore this colourful and dangerous world, rescuing all the defenceless babies. But be careful. He will be waiting at the end of every road. I trust you. Go and be the Dino Land hero.
It's
what a cute platformer.
Yeah, it's a little purple dinosaur who's just like these bizarre bug eyes. It's like, are you okay?
Oh. Yeah, those eyes are they're too weird.
They're very weird.
I don't know, what do you want? It's purple, it's a platformer. It's purple.
Yeah, it's very cute. I quite like the aesthetic. The character is just kind of weirdly designed, but I'm pretty sure there's also by a Brazilian dev. I wasn't able to find much information, but Dininho is Portuguese, so I was like, probably Brazilian, just my guess. But yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah,
all the reviews just thumbs up, dinosaur, thumbs up. We're our purple dinosaur.
It's cute, and it looks quite fun. It looks it's not like elevated like some of the platformers that we've seen, but it's one of those cute kind of I kind of want to say entry level kind of platforms.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any particularly like special mechanics in this. This looks kind of like, a Mario, like a Mario 2 or Mario 3 kind of stuff. Nothing crazy going on. Yeah.
It's $3.99. So I'm not sure how long it is. There's 4 different worlds in the main campaign with its own features and challenges, 2 unlockable special worlds for the best explorers, and there's an in-game timer if you want to do a speed run.
That's just under a $5 USD. So I mean, hearing how many stages and worlds there are, that's probably about a $5 worth at least.
Yeah, most of the reviews I'm seeing are like 2.3, 2.4, 2.3 hours.
So yeah, not
I wonder if they're
bad.
finished the game at that point.
Yeah, I wonder. It's been 2 weeks.
It's at 100% positive with 12 reviews. Yeah.
And I do believe this is Dininho's. Yep, it's Dininho's first game on Steam. Next up.
Heyo, Chris.
Black Powder Red Earth.
The near present, step into the event horizon of a failed state as private military contractor Cold Harbor, hunting jihadist terrorists in war-torn sprawls as a lethal surrogate for the host nation. Yeah,
so this one is a very much, when I was reading up to it, when they describe it as it's a very down-to-earth strategy game, there are no RPG elements, so you're not like you're not progressing your characters, etc. You just have your gear, and you have to use your gear, and so it's more like a chess game almost. You have your pieces, and then you have kind of set abilities, and it's all about using those abilities cleverly. So,
I don't think the character designs, the artwork, I don't think it works well with the backgrounds quite as much. When you zoom in, it looks like really quite janky. Yeah.
Echelon, this is the first game out of Echelon Software, and I do find it interesting they have this promo art, and it's like, oh no, it's pixel art.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the promo art is like really nice, but then you look on the character designs, and it's on the actual game, and it's just like, eesh. Why would you do that?
I do give the kudos to the sort of the UI. The UI is good, and I do notice that in the reviews, folks are kind of agreeing with us. So it's like, I mean, the pixel art is doesn't fit the setting. So it seems like the setting, the audio, the environments are all kind of more serious, but the pixel art movements are a bit more cartoony, and it's like, I don't feel like this matches up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's £15.49.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a bit steep. Very. And it's standing at 91% positive with 84 user reviews.
Yeah. It's pretty good reviews. Like the only bad reviews I'm seeing are like, this is just chess with some card randomization thrown in. But that could be good.
Yeah. For folks looking for an RPG experience, that's not this game.
Yeah, no fancy BS. Straightforward turn-based tactics.
They are getting regular updates. I believe the March 23rd was this their release patch? I think it was. I think March 23rd was their final update for the release. It's yet to be seen if they're going to do more updates afterwards. But yeah, that is the game. It is sitting at very positive with 91%, and it is going for just shy of $20, $19.99 USD. But you can buy the soundtrack too if you want like mellow, dark. I don't know how to describe that genre, but it's just like maybe you need to work with that music.
Things have happened.
Things have happened here. Yeah,
they haven't been good things.
No, bad things have happened.
Bad things have happened here.
So, next up, Tuesday, March 30th is Narita Boy.
Become symphonic in Narita Boy, a radical action adventure as a legendary pixel hero trapped as a mere echo within the digital kingdom. Discover the mysteries behind the techno sword, lock swords with the corrupt and tainted stallions, save the world.
It's like Tron.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, I'm getting real Tron vibes here.
I'm thinking, what is it saying? It's saying words, but I don't know what it's saying.
Really pretty though.
Also radical. You know, they're clearly going for a time period.
Yeah, like the bumper image for it is like him standing with the thing straight above his head.
1970s, yeah.
This did not take place in the 70s.
Yeah. It's quite an interesting stylized design. Some of the environments are a little too busy for my eyes, but it is, you know what? Real kudos to the artists on this. No one's gonna look at this and go like, oh, they copied this other like aesthetic. I think it looks quite unique to itself.
Yeah, so I quite like the way it looks. It's really interesting, and it's one of those games that I probably could watch someone play for a bit. Definitely, it looks really nice. And this is published by Team 17, so the people that did that farming game, the 3D farming game. So yeah, interesting. Let's see, it's £19.99, so it's like 20 quid.
That's $24.99 USD. So not cheap.
Yeah. It's more expensive than the last one.
Yeah, more expensive than the last one. But it is by a trusted publisher, so I mean, these folks also did Monster Sanctuary and several other published games. So generally, Team 17, they typically have well-reviewed products. But yeah, that is $25 is more than I would generally pay.
Yeah, it is starting up very positive with 86%, and it has 129 user reviews.
And Shinchimak says, looks like Tron took some drugs. And it's like, did you not see Tron? Tron was definitely inspired by drugs. All right. Next up is Ball Challenge.
Okay. With the retro pixel art graphics, Ball Challenge is a difficult game that requires a lot of skill and agility from the player to go through all of its challenges. Dodge monsters, spikes and traps, collect necessary diamonds, and try to reach the end of each level.
This game would piss me off. Oh, I can tell.
Yeah, I think it is an anger simulator.
It looks like it could be fun, and then you think that it's going to be fun, and then you die a whole bunch of times, and you're just like, all right, I'm going to throw my keyboard now.
It's really going to depend on how the checkpoint system works, I think, because if if you have to like start all the way back at the beginning, ugh, that would be horrific.
Oh, just looking at this video, some of the deaths just look so frustrating.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's done it. No, oh god, it's horrible. No, I couldn't play something like this. I don't think I could even watch someone play this because I'd just be like, God, no.
No, you watch someone play this when you've had a really bad day and you want to see someone have a worse day. But
it's a really neat concept, and the physics seem like they're pretty fun.
Yeah,
and it slows down when you drag, which is kind of cool. It's not a bad game. It's just I would break things.
Throw your controller halfway across the room, accidentally hit a cat, and you're like, "Oh no, what have I done?" Oh my word!
It's really cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only £2.09. So yeah, it's not bad, but I wonder how long it is.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's too short because I was seeing like screenshots with like 28 levels or something, level 28 or something. So.
Okay.
And they just recently, so on April 7th, which is post-release, they just released the Frosty, like the Frosty levels. So they have like the, freezing challenge, etc. So, yep.
You also have, there's one where you only have a certain amount of moves, so you don't have like an infinite amount of moves to make.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, that's rough.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
I don't know. It's like cheap enough that I'd try it, but again, I don't know if I'd enjoy it. I mean, I would enjoy it at the start. I would get frustrated.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's not enough user reviews, unfortunately. There's only like 4 user reviews, so we don't have a score. But people have said they like the challenge of it.
Yeah, kind of less interested now that I know that there's a certain number of moves.
Yeah, the developer is André Holtz, and they are a solo dev, and this is their first game on Steam. But they actually went to the trouble of actually making a developer page on Steam, which I do appreciate. So, a lot of studios
this would be Dark Souls rage-inducing for me.
Next up, GolfTopia.
Design, build, and manage your own futuristic golf course. Keep 200 persistent visitors fed, hydrated, and happy. Defend your creation from growing infestation of weeds with robotic workers and defense turrets. Evolve your course into a mega resort where nobody wants to go home ever.
Okay, I thought I knew what this game was, and then we started talking about defense turrets. Interesting.
Tower defense meets The Sims.
Yeah, I like that it's, I thought it'd be like something like golf with your friends, but no, it's like you're designing the golf course, but you're also keeping people happy, like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and then you've also got to like this defense turret thing going on. It's so interesting.
I'm trying to see if you can also play the courses.
It looks like you can. Like looking at one part of the thing, and it looks like it's like that golf with your friends thing, or that marbles game where a lot of people play on Twitch, where you get loads of people to throw like marbles and stuff to race marbles. It looks like that's going on as well.
Wow, and you can have up to you can have 200 different like golfers, like AI golfers coming as well, and they have 100 different unique thoughts, just like Roller Coaster Tycoon. So interesting.
Ooh, I might put this on my wish list then. Yeah, in fact I will. Yeah. It's like there's a lot going on there. It's not just like one thing. So it's like I like simulation games, and I like those kind of
resource management
builders. Those kind of builders, like City Skylines and Planet Coaster, things like that. Yeah. So this is right up my alley. It's £15.49. So it's not bad, for a builder. That's kind of like what I would expect to pay. But of course, it depends on how many hours that you get out of it ultimately.
Yeah.
And also how good the tutorial is, because because the problem with Planet Coaster is there wasn't really a tutorial. I had to go on their YouTube channel, and then that's how they would do the tutorials. And it's just like, no, I want things integrated. I want to learn as I'm doing, instead of going, I don't know how to do this particular thing. Let me look it up on their YouTube channel. And it just stops the ebb and flow of your game.
Yeah, that's where not Planet Coaster. There was another. Maybe it'll be in the similar games links down here, because there was another. There's been another coaster game. It's in my wish list. I'll have to look it up. But there's another coaster game that kind of, unlike Planet Coaster, which went way over sim and didn't have tutorial, this other coaster game kind of went, let's go back to the roots of Roller Coaster Tycoon, make it look nicer, and then actually have a proper tutorial. I'm trying to remember what that game is. Yeah, it's probably in the related links to Planet Coaster, because I just want to see it. Where is it?
Well, this game stands at overall very positive, with 96% positive, with 214 reviews, and the recent reviews stand at 97% positive, with 48 user reviews.
That's good. So after it came out of early access, it kept up its popularity. That is very good.
Great. Yeah.
Yep. So that is GolfTopia, and the studio is MinMax Games, and they are based out of Vancouver, Canada. When they first looked at it was funny. I first looked at their Twitter, and they said they're from Vancouver, and I'm like, which Vancouver? Because there's a Vancouver, Washington, that's also a fairly big city. So I was just, yep. But yeah, on their website, they are Canadian. Next up, Wednesday, March 31st, Nanotale, Typing Chronicles.
Something is wrong with the heart of magic. Play a young archivist venturing out into a dying world, cataloguing its mysteries and its wonders to unearth the truth. Nanotale is the adventure from the Typing Chronicles franchise and the spiritual successor to the acclaimed Epistory.
Yeah, so this is a typing game, which we don't see a lot of these. So it's an underserved franchise, although personally I've never really liked typing games because I'm not that great of a typer. But it is a cool application where they're sort of taking this typing game and they're like, you know what, maybe we should have a typing game that's not just UI and actually has this pretty environment and interesting stuff happening. So
the environments are super pretty. It's so nice.
Yeah, very, very pretty.
I summoned the spirit fox within him. He couldn't find himself.
So I wouldn't call it a point and click, but like a type and enter game where there's all these different words that are visible, and then you should type in the word that's applicable, and they go and do that. That's an interesting way to do it. Quite pretty.
So kind of like the text adventure game, almost.
Yeah, a graphical text adventure game.
Interesting. I'm curious if it's just like, because when you want to look at something, you type it, or what about when you're battling? Is it like is there like words that come up and you have to like type in as fast as you can or something?
Yeah, so they have like this thing, they have to type in antagonist and adversary. Oh, that's interesting.
I gotta look at my fingers to type. This would be hard.
Yeah. This might be hard. I'm a touch typer, so I'm just not really. I don't put my hands in like a specific position. I just like.
Yeah.
See, I used to do data inputting, so I'm quite fast at typing. But there's always going to be some mistakes when I was spelling. So I do look at these games, and I do wonder. Oh, I wonder how good I would be at these kind of games. Like,
yeah, Does it punish inaccuracy? Like, how does it punish inaccuracy, or does it reward speed over accuracy? You gotta wonder, like, how that ends up working. It is mostly positive at 70% after coming out of early access, but overall it's 81% positive.
It's £15.49.
And of course, Fishing Cactus is a known developer. They also made Ari and The Secret of Seasons. They made Epistory, which is supposedly this one is kind of related to in plotline, which is another typing game. Epistory Typing Chronicles. Monkeys Ahoy, Alga Robot, and Shift Quantum are their other games. So quite an active studio based out of Mons, Belgium. And it's $19.99 USD. Up next is Wildfire Swap.
Swap tiles, fight fires, consider your moves carefully, fire spreads fast, and an out-of-control fire is unstoppable.
This is really interesting. Just the sort of... It's an interesting premise where you're trying to stop fire and you have to swap tiles and make blank space. This is very interesting to me. What a clever idea.
Yeah.
Just moving houses.
Yeah.
There's a fire, just move the house.
Yeah, move the house.
Keep the house safe.
That'll solve it.
It's a neat idea.
This is cute.
Yes.
I do really like the idea of it, and it's like a nice puzzle game. It's like 120 plus handcrafted levels. So, because I was looking at the price, which is £7.19, which is pretty steep for like a puzzle game, but it's
a one-screen puzzle game kind of thing.
Yeah.
When you open it, I looked at the price first, and I was like, "Oh, look, a cheaper game." But after seeing it, it probably still is too expensive.
Yeah. There are 120 plus levels, but then again, I have had like puzzle games with like many levels, but like it's under £5. So yeah.
Yeah, this is $9.99 USD. It's got some really clever ideas. This is developed by 3 devs: Ryan Kubik, Drew Gingerich, and Wes Mueller, who I don't know what Drew Gingerich and Wes Mueller are from, but Ryan Kubik is of Portland, Oregon. So yeah, Wildfire.
There's 5 user reviews, so we don't have a score, but yeah, it's super interesting concept, and it's one that I would definitely recommend to a few friends that are into puzzle games.
Mm-hmm. I looked up Ryan Kubik's portfolio as well, and though on Steam, if you look at Ryan Kubik, you don't see many games. He has worked on a great many projects, so I think this is just his first, like, this is my ownership. I have ownership of this game kind of thing. So, very good job to Ryan Kubik making that transition. Next up is Creatura.
Seed, breed, create. From single-cell organisms to complex ecosystems, evolve every part of your own unique aquarium terrarium by applying scientifically accurate principles of nature and artificial selection in Creatura, Ultimate Virtual Evolution Vivarium Simulator. That's a lot of word salad there.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting idea. This is one of those sort of more sandbox experience where it's feel like the journey is more about the sort of goal. It's more about the journey than the goal.
It looks interesting. When it's described in the thing, I wasn't expecting it. This how it looks basically. I was expecting, I don't know, like a more like an open field sort of thing, and like have creatures moving around. But no, it's a little aquarium.
Yeah. And you are actually going into the genes. If you look at the menus and such, they're actually going to the genes, and so there's all the different,
Proteins.
the proteins, and you're just modifying which proteins are where, copy and pasting. So this is a pretty intense simulator as far as like genetics.
Cool life sim, yeah.
So this is like, if you know someone who's going for like bioengineering or like gene degree, this might be like, baby's first gene editor or something.
I would recommend this for, kind of like biology students, like here, like probably for A levels or something, or even GCSE, just so it sparks their interest, you know what I mean? And like to get their head around like certain things. It's really interesting. It's £15.99, and overall it's standing at 85% positive with 48 user reviews, but recent reviews have dropped it down to 75% with 12 user reviews. I'm wondering what it's like, great idea, beautiful graphics, but the game is unplayable now. Controls that don't respond properly, bugs don't allow to end the tutorial. Maybe a few updates, it will be playable.
Ooh, that's not good. So there are currently bugs. Let me see. I've not seen any updates since the March 29th, at least on his like recent events and announcements. So hopefully, if there are bugs, they get resolved as soon as possible. So I looked at the developer and his credentials. So he does have some like education in genetics and such. Now, granted, I don't know how much this applies to like the game, because when you're gamifying something, it's not necessarily going to reflect reality. And of course, actual genetics are insanely complicated, and that probably wouldn't make for a very fun game. But just getting the sort of basic concepts across, it's a really clever delivery system for it.
Just looking, like the dev responded to one of those reviews, and then I clicked on him, and he's played it for 424 hours.
The player? This game is totally broken.
No, like the actual developer has played for 4.
Oh, the actual developer.
Like, yeah.
I imagine they would,
We said it was broken, played it for less than an hour.
Okay. I was like, wait a second.
It's like the actual dev.
Fix it.
He said, I'm not aware of any, what does it say? Sorry to hear about the issues. I'm not aware of any bugs in the tutorial. Can you tell me what problems you did have there? And they didn't respond. So.
Maybe if they gave an email or something, hopefully they...
Yeah, it says the comments are disabled for that review, so maybe they did talk to them after.
Yeah.
It was 3 days ago, so...
That's good.
So hopefully additional bug fixes incoming. But yeah, it's it looks really fascinating and seems like a possibly a good educational resource. So okay, so up next is Loopomotive.
Loopomotive is a short casual train survival game where you drive a train stuck in a loop that never stops. You can accelerate or slow down the train, but never stop it. Avoid accidents, complete the levels.
And you wanted a cheap game, and behold, I've delivered. This one's so cheap, it's free.
I've already got it downloaded.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is fantastic. This looks fantastic, and it's free, and nice, like, kind of puzzle game.
Yep. Yeah, I'll play this. It's free.
It looks like a variety of complexity going on, and you have to complete a certain number of loops in order to complete the level. That's very interesting.
And there's a sloth in it as well, so, it's super cute.
Super cute, yeah. Quite a variety of level settings and, different obstacles to get around. Oh, it's so cool.
So it's a shame that there are like 15 levels with unique sceneries from underground to outer space. It's a shame there isn't like more. I'm hoping they're like going to bring out a DLC that people can pay a couple of quid for with more levels. That would be nice.
That would be an excellent sort of delivery thing. So let me see. Release, about the achievement, what's on the horizon? Oh, okay, so we took a bit of a break after the release. All right, here's some of their ideas. Difficulty levels, speedrunning mode, controller support, and others. So, interesting.
Neat.
But, yeah, hopefully, it looks like they're still planning some development to the future.
Yeah, why is it free, I wonder?
Well, it's only 15 levels.
Mm-hmm.
There's 7 user reviews, so it doesn't have a score currently. But yeah, it's free. Give it a go.
Yep. It is Shy Pixel's first game on Steam, so I suppose this is a way for the developer to build up a portfolio.
Yeah.
And compared to a lot of other first games that are on Steam, this one's looking really good, and it's free.
Good.
Next up is SilverFrame, and Chinese characters that I think maybe translate to SilverFrame. So,
This is a 3D space combat game. You'll be driving a transformable mecha to perform missions singly or with your partner. There are large fleet, missile barrage, super beam cannon, dogfighting, and other exciting challenges waiting for you.
this is very anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the music choice.
Speaking of which, just in case it's copyrighted music, gonna mute that real quick. But this looks really interesting, and it's not. Let me see. It doesn't say it's on rails. I think it's just a 3D space combat, which is pretty cool.
I'm not a fan of the aesthetic, really.
Yeah.
Like the just white out kind of thing.
Mhm.
It's not. I'm not feeling it. I do like the UI.
I do wish there's more detail, because like you can when you're dealing with vehicles, this is one reason why Forza looks so hyper realistic, is because when you're dealing with vehicles and such, and it's not like a person, it's really easy to make it look like realistic because you're just kind of moving the whole thing. You don't have as many moving pots going on. And I feel like this game could actually serve with some more details going on rather than going for the hyper simplistic aesthetic. Yeah.
It reminds me of Star Fox,
Mm.
but like dialed up to 11.
Yeah. Yeah, it is much busier than Star Fox usually got in dogfights.
Yeah.
That is neat. It is neat looking. It looks quite fun, and I'm wondering, does this have like joystick support or controller support?
It doesn't.
No.
Well, it's one of the reviews has said it doesn't have controller.
That's one of the first things I would think of for a game like this. Is like, does it have joystick support?
And someone said in the discussions they were asking for controller support, and that was on the 6th of April.
Yeah, this is a game that deserves controller support, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is only £2.89 though, so
Yeah, it is fairly cheap.
yeah. And it's standing at 89% positive with 39 user reviews.
And it is phixcat's first game on Steam. Next up, Monday, April 5th, no parachute, which I think that's a hazardous thing to do. No parachute.
Not if you're at the supermarket.
Yeah.
No Parachute is a fast-paced arcade game with a pixel art style in which you will dodge various obstacles in freefall. Try to find out what is on the other side of the tunnel and save your arms and legs along the way.
Yeah, and it's and this game gets pretty gruesome actually.
Oh my god! With like one leg. Oh.
It gets surprisingly gruesome for a pixel art game. But this game, oh my word, this is one of the types of games that I just don't have reaction times for something like this.
Same.
And it would probably give me vertigo. But I know certain folks would be really into this.
Yeah.
You know what? A game like this, it would just annoy me because it's like maybe feel like you got pretty close to the end, and then like an obstacle just like,
Mm-hmm.
that would be the end of you, and that would just annoy me. It would just annoy me so much.
And it seems that as you're falling, you get to see the sort of blood splatter from the remains of your previous attempts, so you can kind of see like where you messed up. Oh my word, that's so gruesome. The developer is Wherry, and this is their first game. I wonder if their like developer name's a reference to, wasn't that other developer Swery or something?
Yeah, Swery.
Yeah, so this one's name is a Wherry. I do wonder if it's a reference to that. But yeah, a variety of hardcore levels and different styles. Only one life at every level, and you could lose your limbs are the features. So
You could lose your limbs.
Yep.
One of the user reviews from A Strange 2 says, "This is what I call true art. This masterpiece is an evocative representation of the human condition."
Brilliant. It is standing at 100% positive,
Yeah.
with 22 user reviews. It's 10% off right now at £3.59.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any hidden features to this game. It's what you see is what you get.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's only $4.49 USD. That's with 10% off right now, so probably new release sale kind of thing. But yeah, it looks fun. April 5th. Coming up next, on April 6th, we have Lost Words Beyond the Page.
An atmospheric narrative adventure written by Rihanna Pratchett, set between the pages of a diary and a fantasy story where you run on words and use them to interact with the world around you.
Okay, interesting. So it's a platformer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, watching them, kind of getting an idea of what the mechanics are. That's actually quite interesting. So another sort of creative way to just use wordplay, almost make it a text adventure game, but it's graphically text adventure.
Another one.
Another one.
We've seen
Yeah.
this week, yeah.
Although this one seems to involve less typing, so it's more drag and drop, so it's less purely text. Yeah.
It's really nice looking. There's some really
Very
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Excellent aesthetic. I have no idea who Rihanna Pratchett is, so I don't know if she's a good writer or not. Maybe there's folks who would know. It is developed by Fourth State and Sketchbook Games, who are from East Anglia and Colchester, England, respectively. But yeah, it looks great.
Looks about only 4 to 5 hours long though. For $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, $11.99. Yeah.
$15 US. But yeah,
$15 US. I got $19.99 Canadian. What is up?
it costs money. And it's published by Modus Games.
And this is it. It would be sort of the game that, you know, maybe I would play, but you know, if I was looking for something like very nice, wasn't too long, but then again, I don't want to be paying like £12 for either.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it is 92% positive with 40 user reviews, so you know it is. Those people have definitely enjoyed it.
The hazard of Steam gamers is that we're spoiled for choice.
Yeah, true. It's true.
Next up, The Wild Case.
The Wild Case is a 2D first-person point-and-click adventure. In this story-focused adventure, players meet a cast of colourful characters, experience mysterious encounters, and solve puzzles to progress through the game.
I saw this and I thought, I figure Rhodey will know if this one's good or not.
It kind of looks... The style of the art, it kind of looks like a hidden object game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've got that kind of like paper, like movements to everything, to the characters. So yeah, it looks a bit like that.
It is by Special Bit Studio, which also they've done Angelo and Demon. We've talked about that game.
Yeah.
And
have like really bad translation.
The Great Adventure Sonya and The Last Dream and In Between Land.
So yeah, The Last Dream I've played, and that is a hidden object game, and so yeah, so it is, yeah, most of their stuff was before Angelo and the Demon, the stuff was hidden object games, and so this might be, I don't know, like maybe in between. This is more leaning towards hidden objects. I'm not sure.
Let me see. I'm looking for reviews to see how the translation might have been for this one. I've seen some positive reviews in English that kind of like mention that they like the story, but I'm not seeing if there's bad translations or not.
Okay, someone has said there are no hidden object scenes or puzzles to solve. Okay.
So this is more of a pure point and click adventure, just with kind of the graphical style of a.
I'm looking at a review that says that it's a point and click game that sits right in the middle of a hidden object and point and click game.
Yeah.
So.
The thing is, so it doesn't have like hidden object scenes in it, but they've used probably the hidden object engine.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like if you've played hidden object games, it's like there's scenes where there's just a bunch of stuff and you just like there's just a bunch of junk all over the place, and they seem to be like, no, these scenes are meant to set the setting, not necessarily to have like convenient things placed in random locations. So.
Well, that's what the hidden object games do, though. They have like these settings, and then there will be like a sparkly thing that you click on, which then takes you to the hidden object scene puzzle. So they have these nice scenes with the weird looking animation paper characters, like you want to go this way.
But yeah, it's by Special Bit. They are a small Ukrainian studio, and it is $8.49 USD with 15% off right now.
There's a demo available too.
That's true, and it is $5.94, and it's selling at 92% positive, 13 user reviews.
Cool. Nice. Coming up next, Smart Moves 2.
Smart Moves 2 is a pixel art puzzle game with turn-based combat mechanics, different worlds with levels of increasing difficulty, sneaky monsters, unexpected obstacles, and great treasures await you. Smart moves are the key to survival. When I saw the title banner, I was like,
yeah, the title banner doesn't look as good. The game itself looks serviceable though. It's kind of one of those games where everything only moves when you move, sort of thing.
You need to make some smart moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of partly puzzle game, but partly RPG. I don't know if it has RPG elements going on though. So, but yeah, this is by Grin Robot, which is who also developed Butterfly 1 and 2 bundle, Butterfly 3. So they're known for the Butterfly series, which have we ever talked about this? No, we've not talked about this on our. This is the first game they've made that I've really been like, oh, I wonder what this is, because most of their others just have kind of a crunchy, really crunchy aesthetic. But this one's kind of the first one I was like, oh, you know what? This looks kind of serviceable for a game in this genre.
They've definitely improved the art. Definitely.
So, you know what? Perseverance. That's what Grin Robot has been up to.
It's 20% off right now at £3.19. I'm not sure how many levels there are to this. There's over 30 levels. Someone's put in the reviews.
Yep. And yeah, $3.99's not going to break the bank. So, good job. Next up, Wednesday, April 7th, is Aron's Adventure.
Aron's Adventure is an action-adventure RPG that takes place in a fantasy world called Elor. An ancient evil reawakens, and the fate of the land is thrown into Aron's hands. Aron will have to unite the people, all while learning how to use his new abilities.
So there's a few cardinal sins I have here that I have to bring up regarding the glow, too much glow, and the sort of the low poly. So this is a low poly art style, the sort of Unity low poly art style you see. I think this is actually not made in Unity. I'm pretty sure this is made in Unreal, actually. When I was, if I remember correctly, looking at their website, but. It's just an aesthetic I'm not particularly keen on as far as the characters, especially since I feel like they don't fit in with this really pretty environments as well. I feel like the characters can be a bit higher def than the environment, and here the characters are lower def than the environment, and that's odd to me. But yeah. Besides that, the animation looks great. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Is the animation looks really great, like the movements and everything, and the combat looks nice. But yeah, you're right. The low poly, I don't know if it's really doing it for me either.
There's quite a few scenes where you are in like an open field and you kind of just hacking and slashing your way through things. I know that's a genre that some people like, but it just kind of looks kind of barren to me. There's not like a lot going on in terms of the environments, at least for me.
I am wondering if the trailer's kind of doing a disservice there, because like the trailer's not showing like cutscenes or like story stuff very much, so I'm curious how much of that is in this game, or whether it's just like running from one place or another. I do appreciate that there is character customization as far as like different armors and such. That's an extra step that a lot of these games don't do. So I do want to give kudos to that. It's cool to have a progression of your character's appearance as you go through the game, and a variety of weapons. So they've definitely put work in certain areas. They've definitely put a ton of work in certain areas that I do appreciate. So, yeah.
It is $21.41 though, with 10% off. I mean,
yeah,
it's expensive.
They are going for that AA price point. And yeah, it's $26.99 USD. This is developed by Tim Van Kaan and Tom Rodis, who are based out of Dordrecht and Breda, Netherlands, respectively. And it's a labor of love. I feel like this could have gone a bit longer in the oven, but I don't know how long they've been working on it, because there's just some additional things that's like, well, this could have been more polished, or maybe if you had a bit more work on this, but you know, sometimes you just have to release it.
Yeah, it says plenty of side quests, enemy encampments, crafting equipment, platforming puzzles, environmental puzzles. So there's a lot going on in there, and this says there's 40 different enemies to fight.
Yeah. So judging by that, I feel like the trailer focused a bit too much on the combat, and maybe should have shown more of the side stuff to kind of show that this is not just a hack and slash, that it has a bit more depth going on. So yeah, the trailer is not being of great service, but they have gotten 60 reviews at 75% positive, so some folks have checked it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
What have you got for us next?
Next up is Ultimate Admiral. Age of Sail. That one.
Ultimate Admiral, Age of Sail is a tactical war game from the creator...
Careful there.
The Ultimate General series set amidst the epic naval campaigns in the period of American Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars.
Don't die, Rhodey. I get that all the time, where I just swallow wrong and then I'm talking. Yeah, so this is by a pretty interesting studio. This is Game Labs. They are a studio out of Kiev, Ukraine, and they seem like this Ukrainian studio seems to specialize in doing North American stuff. Like, that's what they do, like North American, various different historical stuff, but it's North American battle stuff. I find that just really I always love it when one country does stuff about another country, because you get like a double dose. Like, first of all, you kind of see like, okay, what would a Ukrainian's interpretation of this stuff be going on? And you get the kind of early setting. It's just an interesting thing. That sort of combo.
Spaghetti westerns.
Yeah, spaghetti. I love spaghetti westerns. Actually, I love spaghetti westerns because they've got that little odd weirdness to them where it's like, this feels very American, but something's off.
Yeah.
So, oh man, I love spaghetti westerns. And in some ways, spaghetti westerns ended up becoming super American because they became popular in the US. So it ended up influencing our American cinema. But yeah, just very, very, very interesting. It's got a nice UI that's sort of reminiscent of the Total War series. And it looks like you have both land and sea battles going on. As
the resident seafarer gamer here, Adam, what do you make?
I don't know if I would really play this one. Yeah, like I have already played other games like this, I feel, and I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. Nope, wouldn't be even any good for me to go and look. But I am interested in what Duey was saying, how this is not an American company that together. So yeah, it's like, it's not my style of game to play regardless.
Yeah, I hate RTS. Like, I'll just straight up say that. I hate RTS games. Not because they're bad, but I hate them.
I am kind of interested in like the story of it now that you put it the way that you put it. To see how that would turn out.
Yep. Yeah, because I thought this was an American studio for a long time, and then I looked into them and was like, oh, they're not?
Yeah, if I was to play something like this, I would rather just be one ship and not all the ships.
Right.
Yeah. If I could get an RPG Age of Sail where I'm just like developing a ship and developing a crew and going on my own missions, part of a bigger battle or bigger navy, that would interest me a lot.
Yeah, because they already have the AI there, but I feel like if you had a little bit more of the character building of like you're this character on this ship and you own this ship. That would be a game I would play. Absolutely.
And it is 26. Yeah, I think we mentioned this, but it's $26.99. So it is a AA price. Now that said, this studio I think I would kind of categorize as a AA studio with the kind of work that they've done.
Yeah, it's $22.49.
Yep.
And there are 786 user reviews, and it's standing at 80% positive.
Yep.
So yeah.
Up next is Cozy Grove.
Welcome to Cozy Grove, a game about camping on a haunted, ever-changing island. As a spirit scout, you'll wander the island forest each day, finding new hidden secrets and helping soothe the local ghosts. With a little time and a lot of crafting, you'll bring colour and joy back to Cozy Grove.
This looks very, very cute. It has and on the aesthetic, kind of reminds me of, what is that, Neko Market? The night market?
Oh, yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a similar aesthetic. At first I thought it was that. I was like, oh, is this a game by the same developer? But no, it is Spry Fox LLC, and they did Triple Town, Alpha Bear, and Road Not Taken.
Yeah, Alpha Bear. Yeah, that was like loads of people were playing that for ages, and like just posting on Facebook like the weird words that were coming up. And I did play Triple Town as well, so yeah, I've played both of their games, and I've put this on my wish list. It's just super cute, and I'm liking that you're exploring, and there's these little crafting elements as well.
I kind of wish, and this is just me, but I kind of wish when you were going up, your character turned around. You're not always facing the screen.
Yeah.
That does bother me a little bit, but
Yeah, walking backwards. Yeah.
And that because
So-
that's even a feature of like old top-down pixel art games, is you have like the back sprite, and so
yeah.
back sprites would have been really nice, honestly.
I'm gonna put it on my wish list though. I think I would wait for it to get cheaper though.
Yeah, because it is like
Of course.
£10.25 with 10% off, and it's like
$13.49
It said
US.
the 40+ hour campaign though, filled with side quests
wow.
designed to have months of playtime.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, that would be worth the price if you can get that amount of time out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
40 hours. That is. Here I was kind of looking at and like expecting it to be a smaller game, but that is.
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6, maybe 7 hours or something.
Yeah, that is straight up a like a Stardew Valley type sized game.
It does say it's supposed to be played kind of like an Animal Crossing kind of game, so you go in and you play like for maybe 30 minutes each day.
Mhm.
Someone says it's pretty cute, but need to remove real life time in game. They don't see the benefit of having only 30 minutes of gameplay each day. So that's the thing. It's like if you just want to, chill out something and you want to put more hours into this instead of having, to wait the next game day for like certain things to unlock. I think that can be off-putting for a few people. But I'm really curious. I'm really curious about this. I might purchase it.
Yeah, if they played a little bit more like Stardew Valley, where you can, play it as long as you want and get the days progress like that.
Yeah, you can manually hit the progress day kind of thing.
Yeah. Much.
Next up, Thursday, April 8th, is Before Your Eyes.
Embark on an emotional first-person narrative adventure where you control the story and affect its outcomes with your real-life blinks. With this innovative technique, you will fully immerse yourself in a world of memories, both joyous and heartbreaking, as your whole life flashes before your eyes.
Yeah, so this uses eye tracking. So you're going to need a webcam for this game. And I've actually always been kind of curious in how well eye tracking works, because I've got really small eyes, and I'm like, a lot of time when I'm talking, you can't even see my pupils. So I'm kind of wondering how well it's going to work with people with different eye shapes. But it's a really interesting idea, and the fact that you control it with your blinks, like, man, that's going to really make you have to think about when you're blinking. It's also
I'm blinking right now, thinking about it.
I'm thinking about my blink too much now.
It is sort of this is a neat example of, because this sort of being able to control with your eyes and such. I believe this was originally developed for people who are paraplegic and being able to use computers, and this kind of example of where a disability can add an additional augmented reality kind of feature to be developed. So very, very interesting that it's controlled by your eyes.
Yeah, Moosh 1512 says, "Ever tried to not blink with tears in your eyes? No, this game would change that."
So you just have your eyes open and you're crying because the scene.
It's crazy the whole time.
Oh no! So it's that kind of game. Yeah. So apparently they mean it when they say it's emotional, because like multiple reviewers are saying they were crying. So it's one of those games.
It looks like it's under 2 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's $7.99. I think, with the technology it's using your camera and everything. I think it's like a really unique experience. I really like the artwork. I quite like short games, but I just wish it was a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, longer or cheaper. I'd probably pay for this if I could get a little bit more time out of it. Yeah.
Saying that, it's standing at 98% positive with 402 reviews. So not bad at all.
Yep. And yeah, that is $9.99 USD. Goodbye World, the developers, are based out of Los Angeles, California, and it is their first game on Steam. Next up. Also, just big kudos on doing something weird. I love it when games do something weird.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that you don't have to buy like a head tracker or anything for it either. They did it with a webcam.
Yep. Strike Team Gladius. Up next.
Battle hordes aliens in turn-based combat with elite soldiers, mechs and vehicles at your command. Enlist your strike team and drop planet-side into an intense sci-fi war zone. Make tactical decisions and employ ruthless strategies to achieve each mission objective.
I'm not a huge fan of the kind of like patina that the whole game sort of has. A lot of the environments just kind of have this kind of brownish patina over it. And it's like, I like color. Please use more color. But the UI is also using bright colors, so I wonder if that's intentional, so the UI will stand out.
Yeah, but it's also got that, the neon like hexagons, and there's neon glow on certain things as well. So it's made the environment look a little more interesting, I think. So because we do complain sometimes that some like war games it's just brown. Add extra brown to it. Yeah.
That is not what they're doing, to be sure. And they've got I like the hex-based strategy stuff. That's always fun. Hex-based feels more sensible than grid-based, as far as like being able to do straight and diagonals and such. I
do wish the aliens were like different, like either a different color or your team stuck out differently, because everyone's like pretty much the same kind of color. They're all kind of like, I'm looking on the like on the top or the top down or isometric grid that you're playing on, and they all just look kind of like same-ish color, which is a shame.
Yeah. I wish there was a bit more there, but aside from the aesthetics, it looks like it's a serviceable tactical RPG, and with a good UI, which it's got a decent looking UI, but the environments of the characters are a little drab colored.
So you can buy it in a bundle.
Yeah, and
Team Hydra.
Strike Team Hydra. Yeah,
looks like more of the same, maybe mixed reviews on that one.
Yeah, 90% positive.
Yeah, it's 30% off right now at £13.64. As you said, 90% positive with 11 user reviews. It doesn't say how many missions there are. It just says there are missions.
There are missions.
Yes,
there are aliens. Some of them are really kind of interesting looking. Some interesting looking aliens. I'll give them that.
Yeah. Wavelight Games has several titles, actually. They also have Demon's Rise, Lords of Chaos, which is a very positive game. Demon's Rise, War for the Deep, and Shieldwall Chronicles is mostly positive. So they have a history of these tactical RPGs, and that seems to be what they do. And it looks like they are all hex-based, it seems. So they have their established, this is what we make kind of thing. So hopefully their fans become aware and check out the latest one, because you've got Strike Team Gladius, so more of your tactical RPG games to go. So up next, on more colorful,
in stark contrast,
is Potion Party.
Ain't no party like a Potion Party. Potion Party is a funny couch co-op alchemy game for 1 to 4 players. Working as a team, you and your friends must manage your own alchemy shop, earn money, upgrade your tools, decorate the shop, and become a master alchemist.
Is this just couch co-op, or do they have online? I think it's just couch co-op. Yeah.
Shared split screen.
But yeah, this looks kind of like the, you know, you're taking the whole like kitchen.
Kind of like Overcooked.
Yeah, Overcooked.
Yeah, I played the crap out of Overcooked. I'm looking for more couch co-op party type games, and this seems like a cool little really cool little game. It's kind of cheap, but I think that maybe the graphics could be a little bit better.
Yeah, the pixels art could
better,
be so much better, I think, because a lot of the things kind of just like look like splats of color rather than like kind of like.
I would really enjoy the game actually if it was closer to what the bumper image is there.
Yeah, their bumper image is really nice.
Style. Yeah.
It's sort of the reverse of that previous game where it's like, oh wow, the bumper image looks really nice, or the bumper image looks really terrible. Is sort of the inverse of that. And as far as premise, these games have this genre of games has proven to work. So I'm quite curious to see like how good it is. It has 7 reviews, and looking down, there's 1 negative in Chinese, but all the other reviews that I see are positive. So
it says, create, combine, and sell potions from your very own alchemy shop. Mix bright powders and bubbling potions to create new colours. Upgrade and decorate your alchemy shop with new items and equipment. Join with friends in couch co-op multiplayer with up to 4 players. Defend your shop against plotting creatures and thieving villains. Play in story mode alone or together with up to 4 players to earn gold and unlock new stages and gameplay modes. Unlock versus mode and play against your friends. Compete in 2 teams to brew potions as fast as you can. Reach endless mode and test your skills in keeping open the store as long as you can. Enjoy cute stylized pixel graphics. A total of 5 to 10 hours of gameplay with a wide selection of unlockable items and replayable solo and multiple multiplayer modes. Unlock more than 20 items as you grow your shop. Decorate items which give you passive boosts or store equipment which grant new and useful abilities. Unlock 11 unique characters, each with their own special abilities. Upgrade your character abilities to maximize their bonuses. No microtransactions. Everything is unlocked by playing the game. To know.
I do like that it has a story campaign that where you gradually unlock stuff. That gives a good sense of progression.
That makes it more interesting for me, because if it's just like you're playing kind of just different stages, like in Overcooked, it's like
Overcooked has like that overarching story to it, but at the same time, there's not much progression in the game other than the stages get harder. Right? Yeah,
exactly. So I'm a bit more curious about this now. It is £7.19, and there's currently only 7 user reviews.
Yeah, I'll get it on sale. I think I am looking for more games like this though. I kind of wish this one just had better graphics.
Yeah.
But I mean, like if it's your first game, or I don't know if it is your first game, but it's the only one there.
With my brother moving down here and us getting an apartment and eventually him buying his first house and I'll be renting from him, me and him are going to be living together for possibly several years. So having more of these couch co-op games are going to be more of a possibility now. So I'm really looking forward to that. So have to keep this one in mind. Next up, from a known developer by us, Scarlet Hood and the Wicked Wood.
Scarlet Hood must lead a hapless munchkin troop through the Wicked Wood. Too bad the Black Witch Lefaba doesn't take too kindly to strangers gallivanting in her domain. Our fledgling witch soon realises she's reliving the same day. Can she overcome the disaster that awaits at every turn?
Oh. So this is by the developers of Cold Soul, which is a game we talked about previously. Devespresso, they made... Vambrace Cold Soul. And it is now... That game was notable because it came out with 50% positive reviews. But they've done extensive patches to it, and it now has 85% positive reviews among the recent reviews. So this is a studio that I quite like their artistic aesthetic. It's kind of like that realistic anime, like not. Yeah, it's kind of the more like It's almost like a mixture of anime and kind of Western comic aesthetic. That's what I'm going for. Yeah.
It looks interesting. I'm not sure if it's the kind of visual novel that I like, though. I don't know.
She's wearing most of a pair of pants.
Yeah, that's kind of like me often was thinking.
It's like capris, but the space is up there.
There's an interesting. So it's a visual novel, but it feels a lot more like a puzzle game, and especially since you can kind of walk around in the outer world. I don't know. I don't know if visual novel really fits this. It is pretty story heavy though, so it's pretty story heavy. But I wouldn't call this a visual novel.
The thing that kind of puts me off this, it says Ogle the hand illustrated graphics.
Ogle, really? They use that word.
Oh dear, what kind of novel is this?
You're making me suspicious, because, like, there's a little... So in Fanbrace Cold Soul, there's a tiny bit of fan service, but it's really not what that game is about. Okay, that's an odd word. All right, ogle. The studio is based... I'm pretty sure they're not based in the U.S., so I don't know. Maybe they're just like... You looked up the dictionary definition and like, oh, let's use this word. But
well, considering she's like wearing suspenders, they probably do want you to ogle her.
They probably do. Yeah, that's what they're going for. Well, but yeah. So the next game out of Devspresso, it is $12.74 USD and has a 91% positive rating so far.
Yep, 15% off at £10.19.
Yep.
14.86 Canadian. Did you look at the live action trailer there?
Oh, they have a live action trailer? Oh no.
I'm even more confused.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, live action trailers.
Oh dear.
Okay. All right. They definitely meant ogle. Next up is Astro Dogs by DM Triad.
Astro Dogs is an on-rails arcade action game featuring a cast of space dogs that have to save the galaxy of Woofer, a company that controls everything, also run by dogs. Bad doggos.
Yep, bad. So it's good doggos against bad doggos.
This is Star Fox, but the other side, like all the enemies in Star Fox.
Yeah.
Your dogs and the fox is the bad guy.
Oh, it looks so. Oh, it looks really nice. It's got this kind of, I don't know how to describe it, like a PS2 sort of, like bright colored PS2 aesthetic. Although some of the levels are need some serious color theory work, because some of them just kind of looks like a nauseous blob going on. But yeah, for and this is on rails, so it's not quite like this is an on rail shooter. So it's not, you don't have free motion. It does look like you have free motion, but no, it's an on rail shooter.
And there's one like level that looks like vaporware.
Yeah. Vaporwave. Yeah,
like vaporwave.
Yeah. They definitely they've got an interesting mix of aesthetic going on here. Dynamic Media Triad is the developer, and they are based out of Mexico. They've also made Broken Reality, which I think we talked about. Yeah, I think we talked about Broken Reality because it was in a bundle with Hypnospace Outlaw.
Oh, right, yeah.
You can tell they have the vaporwave.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. It's like everybody's saying the same thing that I said. It's like Star Fox 64. I played a hell of a lot of Star Fox 64, and that's exactly what this looks like.
Yeah. Was that on Rails though?
I'm not really sure.
I've never played Star Fox actually.
It's like I'm not really sure what on Rails means. But
it means that you can't really.
You can't move. Like the world is moving towards you, and you can only move around the screen.
Where you can like go wherever you want. It's just the scenery is moving.
Yeah, the scenery is moving. Yeah, it's on Rails. The same.
Okay.
So yeah, this is 10% off right now at £9.26, and there's only 8 user reviews.
There is a free demo though, so you can try before you buy. But yeah. Next up is In My Shadow.
Play with shadows in your own imaginative ways to solve twisted puzzles as you unfold the memories of a girl who struggles to confront herself in her past.
It feels like a dream.
That's a large paragraph without any.
So the interesting thing about this game, so the shadows cast on the wall, and that is your platform. Well, there are also 3D objects in the room. They can move around to change the shape or size of the shadows. So sometimes you have one direction of light, or it's on a corner, so you have to think about the two directions of light. So there's an interesting mechanical quirk to this.
It's really interesting, and
Works.
it's got this narrative that's, it really sets the tone of it, because the actual gameplay looks like very fun, and it would look quite be kind of more of a happy gameplay, but then there's this like narrative going over it that's like very somber and like thought-provoking, so it's just like, oh no, it's a sad game, it must be sad now.
Also, a little thing, this game is developed by an Indian studio, Gurgaon, Haryana, India. So don't really see a whole lot of Indian devs. But it's founded by one guy. I couldn't confirm that it was a solo studio, but on their information there was just the one guy. So it might be solo dev. I don't think so. There was probably some art and programming help or something. So usually someone's not talented in all those areas. So, but yeah. So it is an Indian studio.
It looks very interesting. I do like it's a unique concept, and I really like how it looks and everything. I'm curious at how long the game actually is.
Yeah.
So it says there are more than 50 levels.
Yeah.
But how long is that level? So it looks very good, very polished.
I think the majority level is probably putting the shadows in a configuration to get you from one place to the other. It's almost like the floor is lava type game.
But how long would be, would it be to like complete one level?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I think they could be pretty short.
Yeah. So I've seen like 2.5 hours or under 2 hours so far, but this game has just come out, so yeah, I'm not 100% sure. There is a demo though, and it's 10% off right now at £7.20, and there are 10 user reviews, and it's standing at 100% positive.
Yep.
Yeah, it does look interesting.
And it is Playbay's first game. Their studio was founded in 2018, so it's been about 3 years since they started. So that's cool that they got their first game out. Next up, Friday, April 19th, is Dojoran.
Life is not easy and simple as it seems in your childhood. To survive in a world full of dangers, you must go through the difficult ninja training of frogs using secret techniques created by your ancestors.
Wow.
So the whole like black-white, the white foreground, black background platformer aesthetic has been, pretty present in the last few years, and it's just, I like how much personality and animation this one has, because some of them can have, though they only have two colors, well, not even colors, they have two shades, they still have provided a decent amount of like, character, because the animation is really fluid and
It is cute. The the frog's like cute is when it's holding something in its mouth. It's like so cute.
I like how it does it. The wall jump. It basically just splats against it with its body, and then.
Yeah.
There's 28 unique stages with platform challenges and gradual difficulty, precise and extreme simple controls, pixelated graphics in 1 bit, infinite lives and checkpoints, different ways to use the main mechanics.
Okay, that it does. It looks like a good, precise precision platformer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks.
Yeah, this is like a re-release because it's been like had so many patches or something, and there's like extra bits being put on the game. So yeah, this is the kind of re-release with everything kind of done.
Yeah, because I do remember this one, but it looks like the animation does look more fluid than I remember it being. So, but yeah, it's by Notlander, which is a small Brazilian studio.
Yeah, and there's currently 12 user reviews, and it's at 100% positive. 15% off at £3.39.
Where has the time gone? Because we are on our last title, Trials of Fire.
A tactical deck-building roguelite. Choose 3 heroes and adventure into a post-cataclysmic wasteland. Engage enemies in a unique meld of card play and tactical positional combat. Level up and scavenge what you can to customize your decks and build a party to take on any challenge.
So this is ticking a few boxes for me as far as like the genres. It's like it looked through my typical genres I played and just added all of them. But it all depends on how good the mechanics feel. I wish this game had a demo because it's $14.39. I really want this to have a demo because so much, whether this game is good or not, is entirely based on how good the systems are.
Yeah, it's true. It's it looks like very well done. The artwork of the cards and everything, and I like when it goes into the map as well, which is quite nice.
This book is yours to write.
Yeah, they've got a similar aesthetic to the Magic the Gathering, like just the Magic the Gathering cards aesthetic, which I think is pretty cool. But man, I need to be able to try this game. That's what's annoying me.
It's not too expensive, but
No, it's not too expensive, and it looks like it has a decent amount of content, judging by the description.
It's 10% off right now at £11.15, so that's quite nice. And let's see, what's the about? So multi-character deck-driven combat, new items and weapons equals new cards, a vast procedural overworld adventure. Oh, yeah, quite nice. I wish it had like more like. It told you the features like boom, 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 boom kind of thing.
Their patch notes are extremely extensive. So with their release, they also released it with a new hero. They had a bunch of hero changes. They did a bunch of balance updates. They added the Russian localization. They've done boss changes. So now I know that there's bosses. They added an Endless Odyssey mode. So they've done and if you look back through their patch notes, these patch notes are pretty extensive. They're always doing balance tweaks and such. I am curious with having it launched, will it continue to release updates? Don't know. I mean, it seems they've been quite successful with 917 reviews, so I don't see why they wouldn't go like, oh hey, here's the DLC, and with this genre, it's easy. Just add new maps, add new story, add new cards. Like you've got a template that you can basically endlessly add on to. So yeah, it looks really interesting. It's on my wish list. It's developed by What Boy Games. They are a studio based out of London, England, and this is their first game on Steam. So, and with that, that is our release list. So the question comes down to, what's the best of the week? Or best of the past 2 weeks, I should say.
Who wants to go first? Who's ready?
I'm not ready.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
You are not prepared.
I am going to pick one from last week and one from this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely interested in like GolfTopia.
Oh yeah. That's
there's so much in there. It's not just, was it play golf with your friends? It's not just that. There's so much more going on with it. So yeah, I'm interested in that. It looks really nice as well. It looks very well done. And then the second one, I think Cozy Grove. This week would have to be Cozy Grove. It's just, I think it's quite it's kind of Animal Crossing light, but it's like a tenner. And it's like really beautifully animated, beautiful setting, and I like the idea of crafting and everything, and it's just super cute, and it's from the Alpha Bears people as well. It's already got my seal of approval, sort of thing. I'm curious if an Alpha Bear will pop up at some point.
Yeah, just as a like, hey, this is our other game. Just want to remind you.
Well, you see, the Alpha Bear was in the first game as well, so it's like it's a theme. I want to see it. They don't. I think it's a missed opportunity.
Absolutely. I think I'm ready. So as far as the 2 games, I guess I'll do the same thing. 2 games from each week. From the first week, I would say Loopomotive is probably the most interesting one to me. In particular, it's free, and it's got a simple concept, but it looks well executed. So they just kind of went like, this is what we're doing. It looks like it'll be reasonably difficult because you can't stop the train. You can just slow down. So it's going to be all about this, planning ahead. It looks like it might be really fun, and I'm interested if Shy Pixel's going to eventually do a more extensive game. And from the second week, it's a much more difficult decision, but I think I'm going to have to go with the Trials by Fire. It's basically all the stuff I'm interested in wrapped into one package. I'm just like not ready to spend $14. So yeah,
I feel like that was my biggest issue this week. Was I didn't add very much. It seemed like a good mixed bag of games, but I only added Cozy Grove and Potion Party and Ball Challenge, I think, actually, as well.
The first week, Ball Challenge.
Yeah.
I added that because it's very cheap.
$2.99.
It probably could be fun. But I'm definitely interested in this Potion Party game. I'm just kind of like not ready to buy it because, well, it's not on sale, first of all, but the graphics for it, I'm just not quite sure how well it's gonna play. But yeah, other than that, that train game, I didn't put it on my wish list because it was free.
Yep, you just downloaded it.
Yeah, I downloaded it. So Loopomotive, I'm definitely gonna try that one. Yeah.
I suppose honorable mention to No Parachute too. That game looked really fun, but I couldn't win it.
Yeah, I didn't add it either, but yeah, definitely an interesting game.
Oh. So, with that was our best of the week. So, before we say farewell, Adambomb / Topgunbunny, where you're on Twitch.
So many names.
Let us know where the internet can find you, what you're up to, and if you have any upcoming projects.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like this close to being done school, and I'm going to be a computer programmer. So
Yeah.
We're actually releasing. I'm not gonna plug this too much, but we're actually releasing a Android game that we did that is. It's bad.
It's bad.
It's a good concept. I just shouldn't be released yet. But I think that we wanted to try and get it up on the App Store just free, just as like a proof of concept, kind of like we did this, and we also went through the process of deploying it. Not so much because it's actually working, but it's basically like it's like a rock paper scissors game. Where you choose a photo from your gallery or from your camera, and it checks whether it's red, blue, or green, and plays rock, paper, scissors with a stock photo that we've put into the app. It's kind of cool, but right now, like, we're trying to get the animations working for the battle, and it's a headache. It is such a headache. But yeah, that'll be fun. If I get it up on the App Store, you can download it and laugh at it. I'll let you know.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah.
Are you thinking of putting it on itch.io as well, maybe?
I don't even know where to start with that.
Well, look up to it, because itch.io is also a place for stuff that's, for mobile apps and stuff to be rested. Yeah,
it's like natively built in like Java and Android Studio specifically.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun to do, but I guess we got the grade that we got for the assignment is solely based on which project management documentation we did for it. So it wasn't really about the coding. It was more about the project documentation and like the work breakdown structure and like making the flow charts and doing our Scrum meetings every week and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm trying to today actually have to go and make the promo video for it. So that'll be fun.
Ooh, nice. Are you going to do a live action like promo like we saw for?
I actually already have the vocal part for it recorded. It's
nice.
It's called Scrapbook.
Scrapbook?
As in like fighting, but Scrapbook as in.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because I've been looking up like WWE wrestling videos and like announcements for that and trying to put that together. Actually.
So are you going like, oh, you're going to play it? Oh my god!
I put it together with this guy here. It has like an arena setting on it, so it sounds like I'm in a big amphitheater.
Oh my god, that's going to be amazing!
So yeah, I'm hoping it turns out okay.
Yeah, cool. Rhodey, what about you? What are you up to?
Oh, I'm going to be playing some more of the RPG, but I really want to get back into playing the Shapeshifting Detective on stream.
Yes.
I really want to finish that because it was such a good story and everything. But I've been so tired lately. But if I do make an appearance, I will be on twitch.tv/RhodeyPie.
Absolutely. And whoops, boop. All right. And of course, you can find me at twitch.tv/DeweyBear. I stream every week for this podcast. And of course, you can find our Steam Curate page right here in the chat. And of course, for YouTube in the description down below.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. And give us put some comments on which games were your favorites this week.
Yep, absolutely. So, thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. And bye-bye, YouTube.
Bye.
Thanks for